There's something to be said of excitement. Well, that pertains to a lot of different things. When you talk about every day going into your life, everyday job, and there's also something to be said about the excitement now surrounding the Carolina Panthers. Now, I need to preface by saying, yes, I know they won a game yesterday. It was fantastic. They won, got a big time 28 or 21-3 win, over the Buccaneers. And I gotta be honest with you. I know that sometimes you got to take these things with a grain of salt. But overall, when you come out with a victory like this, PJ Walker out there doing some big time stuff, 16-22 for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, it was pretty respectable. But to me, the biggest thing is yes, the memes, the excitement. Carolina Panthers, yes. If you guys haven't seen Steve Wilks' speech for after the game, you need to go watch it, because I know that the Carolina Panthers have underachieved over the last couple of years, mainly because of Matt Rhule and the lack of quarterback play or upper tier quarterback play. We'll put it that way. Their defense has always been solid. They're a young, fast defense that flies around and makes plays. To me, it was the NyQuil effect. And as a Vikings fan, I can speak about the fact when you have a coach, and it was Leslie Frazier. I know he's doing big things with the Bills, but when he was the head coach of the Vikings, it just wasn't pretty. He was sitting there. He was often stoic. He was just nothing. The Vikings would get a pick six, and it would just be, or they'd throw an interception, and it would be the same thing. So I understand that, and I'm starting to realize more and more that the energy surrounding a team is really what makes them special. And I'm not saying that the Carolina Panthers will make the playoffs. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they've got a lot of things that they need to get better at. I still think that despite the fact that PJ Walker balled out, I think he's more of a backup quarterback in this league. I don't think he's a franchise guy. And I think that the Panthers need to go find that franchise guy, especially if they're going to make it in this particular NFL. However, there is something to be said for excitement and a young team and a team that wants to play for their coach. And here's the thing about Matt Rhule. I felt like he is, as in terms of being an X's and O guys, like it was there in a lot of different ways. But at the same time, I don't know that as being like the full bit of coaching. Like when we talk about being a complete coach, he clearly wasn't there. And you had to look at the players. They did not want to play for him. They just did not. There was a zombie-like thing going through the building every day. And, just with this win and looking at this, there is an excitement with a guy like Wilks. Now, I don't know if he's going to be the guy at the end of the season, but I think it should be in consideration after you get a result like that. So how do you play on when you go to a team that doesn't necessarily have a franchise quarterback and has a good defense and a good running game? What do? Well, you use the running game effectively, which they did with Donta Foreman, and Chuba Hubbard. They did that very effectively, where they have like 163 yards on the ground or something like that, 173. I'm not very good at math. DJ Moore, like he has never played with a top tier quarterback. Like it's been tough for him. I understand that, but at the same time, so again, what do you do when you have a good running game, a middle-of-the-tier quarterback, or at least a backup out there, and a good defense? You play good defense, in other words, Brian Burns and company getting a sack. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think the Bucs were like 2 of 12 on third down. Yeah, you get off the field defensively, you run the football, and you play solid defense. That's exactly what the Panthers did. And I know that there's going to be a little bit of haters on this type of a win, because I get it. The Bucs aren't playing well right now, but if we have to be honest about it and look at this thing from a full perspective, who do you think is more likely to go to the playoffs at this point? I would say the Bucs, because Tom Brady, you can't. I'm never doubting that man again. I'm just never going to do it. However, I'm also not saying the Panthers aren't going to make the playoffs, because there is something to be said about excitement. There's a new energy in Carolina, and I think that this could be something you gotta watch for, because when you have a team that wants to play for their coach, despite the fact that they might not have their franchise quarterback, but has this offensive line, Ikem and Kwanu and company are getting a lot better. They're able to run the football, and they're able to fly it around the defense. So I don't necessarily think that the Panthers are a threat to make the playoffs, but I'm not counting them out, especially with the recent excitement of Steve Wilks as the new head coach. I think the Panthers are on the right track. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below, leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about there being a new energy with the Carolina Panthers.